1.9 kg of coal per kg of product. So huge progress has been made from where we started in 2004, 2003 at the level of 3.3 kgs of coal. It's now down to the best plants are operating at 1.4 kgs of coal, though the average remains 1.9. If you take noodle plants, when we initially did the benchmarking exercise, it was 162 liters of FO equivalent per ton of product. And the average was 210 liters of FO equivalent per ton of product. Today it is, the best plant is in the range of 90s, it is below 100, 97 liters of FO equivalent per ton of product. And the average is 125 liters of FO per ton of product. So in these many years, we have made terrific progress. And there is a lot to be proud of and to learn from. However, what this says is the opportunity between the best and average is as huge as it was then. The best plants are way ahead of the average for the industry, and unfortunately the best plants are few. 10% of the plants qualify in the benchmark category. Most of the other plants form the average. So if we can work towards bridging this gap between the average of the industry and the benchmark in the industry, then the technology is available. People are already delivering those results. So we don't have to wait for anything new to come out in the horizon. We can do it right away by learning from these examples and plants. So one of the things that we always think of is that if we enhance production, the energy consumption will increase. But it need not be. All these examples that I've given you say that you can double the production but have the same amount of energy that you are consuming. It's only that you have to think it's possible and you have to put focus and effort to make it happen. I think even in our day-to-day experience, we see this many places. We see customers are not being allowed to enhance their boiler capacities, or they are not giving permission to add new boilers, but they have aspirations to grow their production. And when we audit their plants and reduce their steam losses and optimize efficiencies, we find that they can do their expansions without adding any boiler capacity. With the existing steam installed capacity, they can meet their aspirations of expansions and increasing the production. So again, this fact that we can make productivity grow with the same energy footprint is something that we have to get awareness of, establish it with the case studies that we know of, and then ensure that we are practicing it on a day-to-day basis. Improving energy efficiency and sustainability are no longer good things to do. They most probably are the key things that provide you access to the markets that you desire. So we have to ingrain them in day-to-day operations. And the right time for Mr. Reddy to come in as we speak about integrating energy efficiency into day-to-day operations and not limit them to implementing a few specific projects which we earmark at the beginning of the year. I think this is an ongoing daily activity. Like the earlier boiler example, it is good to deploy a technology. It may show an improvement. You shift the coal-fired boiler to a biomass boiler, or oil-fired boiler to a biomass boiler, and for the first year you have reduction in the cost, you have the green certificate which enables you to show your emission footprint also reducing. But that impact lasts only for the mid-term. In the longer term, we need to keep improving it. And even if we don't monitor that boiler's performance, it may deteriorate over a period of time. And it may start impacting your costs again. So the improvements can happen, but they may not get sustained. So understanding the dynamic reality of the process plant steam systems, just to baseline and benchmark energy consumption, we need to start monitoring parameters real-time. Without knowing what's happening within the plant on a real-time basis, it's very difficult to do cause and effect analysis. All the parameters in process plant are interlinked. Productivity, process parameters, utilities, emissions, discharges, all are interconnected. If we look at them in isolation, we may not reach the right solutions, and we may keep struggling on an ongoing basis. And to understand this interdependence of these parameters, we need to have the visibility of the KPIs in real time. And I think only if we focus on sustenance of the improvements that we have made, we will keep progressing ahead year on year and not have a situation where we move 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward and 1 step back. So I think if we continuously improve year on year, we need to start monitoring the key parameters, understanding what the parameters, why the parameters are varying, what the interdependence is, and how do we control them. So in the end, I will conclude with 4 points coming out of this. The first and key point is waste not, want less. I think we have to stop wasting this. I know most of us are tuned to the slogan of Dil Mange More, but I think it should be changed with the slogan of waste not, want less. I think we have to be very focused on ensuring that the wastage is not happening. We have to look at technology in a more broader perspective and not look at immediate ROIs only, because these technologies can impact the business and the society we live in the longer term. So a broader definition of how the technology is justified to be implemented. We have to learn from the benchmark plants who are actually operating at parameters that we all aspire to, and that itself, bridging the gap between the average and the benchmark performance, can itself grow our productivity without increased emission or energy footprint by 25 to 30%. And sustain the improvements we are making while we look for increasing opportunities for improving our performance. So keep the focus on sustenance as much as we are focusing on the improvements. Thank you very much. Looking forward to spending time with all of you, and thanks once again for joining us today. Thank you.
It is my honor to introduce our keynote speaker for the day, Dr. Mrityunjay Chaubey. He's the Global Vice President and Head Sustainability for UPL, and he'll be joining us online. Dr. Mrityunjay Chaubey is a globally recognized expert in sustainability, environment and water. He holds a PhD in environmental engineering from IIT Delhi and has over 27 years of experience with MNCs like Pentair, Shell, Unilever and UPL. As the Global Vice President and Head of Sustainability at UPL, he has driven a 40% reduction in water, a 21% reduction in carbon emissions, and reduced waste disposal by over 57% over the last 3 years. Over 100 environmental protection sustainability technologies designed by him are currently in use globally. Dr. Chaubey is a governing council member of the United Nations Global Compact Network India and a member of Bureau of Indian Standards for maintaining standards for water and wastewater treatment and environmental protection. He has to his credit over 50 technical papers, a renowned book titled Wastewater Treatment Technologies, Design Considerations, and several awards including the most influential sustainability leader, Chief Sustainability Officer of the Year, and Asian Sustainability Leadership Award. May I now request Dr. Chaubey to address us.
Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes.
So audio is clear?
Yes. Very much.
Yes.
Yes, yes, very much.
Okay, so good morning. Good morning to all participants in this Forbes Marshall Energy Conservation Day celebration. And let me thank you for inviting me as a keynote speaker in these celebrations. So I am in the industry from last 27 years, and in various companies I am in role of sustainability and environment management. And what I personally feel that whenever word comes, energy conservation or automation, then the name of Forbes Marshall comes. So I think in industry everyone aware with the Forbes Marshall Marshall if they are dealing energy conservation, sustainability, automation of process. So I think good work done by Forbes Marshall, and especially when it comes for the monitoring, then reliability is very important in industry. Because when we monitor something, then that must be reliable. And I thanks to Forbes Marshall that in reliability and quality, they qualify whenever we want energy efficiency and automation process monitoring system. I am at UPL, so right now I am getting UPL globally sustainability, and we have done a lot of work in sustainability at UPL, and entire group. This monitoring, targeting and monitoring in sustainability is very important. And what we found that whenever the monitoring instrumentations comes, whether it is in the boiler or steam or emission monitoring, then I came across various instruments of Forbes Marshall, and it's working very perfectly, reliably. And let me share with some of the achievement of sustainability at UPL. So if you look our sustainability report 2024, then you will find a major highlight this year. The major highlight was at UPL we have reduced waste 52% in last 4 years, and we have reduced water 47% in last 4 years, and we have reduced carbon emission 34% in last 4 years. And I feel that there is a lot contribution of Forbes Marshall also. Although our UPL people have worked at the ground and they have reduced the environment footprint, so a lot of thanks goes to our operation and our operating team member. But I also thanks to Forbes Marshall that a lot of monitoring instruments are working at UPL, and that also contribute to our sustainability achievement. And today, if you see Dow Jones Sustainability Index, then at DJSI World Index, UPL is only agrochemical in the world who have listed in the DJSI World Index. So at this moment, on this Energy Day celebration of Forbes Marshall, I want to thanks from UPL that there is contribution of Forbes Marshall also to get us listed at the DJSI World Index. Alright, now coming to the area where we used to see the role of Forbes Marshall in industry is one area where we see optimizing of energy efficiency. Also, we see a lot of role on the environment footprint reduction, and when it comes for the increasing boiler efficiency, steam efficiency enhancement, then also we able to see a clear and good role of Forbes Marshall. So we hope that in future Forbes Marshall will continue to provide reliable and continue instruments and the process such that we will be able to decrease environment footprint further. And today when we look at our science-based target, so at UPL we set science-based target which is approved by SPTI. So there we see a lot of monitoring at the control system to decrease the energy, to decrease the water consumption, to decrease the waste generation. By doing so, we feel that targeting and monitoring, this play very important. And at UPL, targeting and monitoring is at our topmost agenda. Now going forward, I will conclude my keynote with one aim, means what we expect from Forbes Marshall. I think I shall conclude my remark with the expectation, and maybe this is the expectation of industry also. So you have provided very good system for the energy conservation and atomization solution. But what we expect that some of the solution going forward should based upon AI and data science. So artificial intelligence and data science should be used going forward. Like one example I can provide on wastewater treatment. So in wastewater treatment, the biggest challenge in industry is that the wastewater quality, inlet quality go on changing. And if some of the instrument is provided which sense the quality of wastewater and automatically adjust the dosing of chemical system in wastewater treatment to achieve the desired quality of wastewater going out, I think that will be very good. And I don't know if already it is there, then I would like to see and I love to use. And if not there, then we expect this kind of system. Similarly, we are using sustainability data tracker. So we are tracking from multi-location all the data. So that's fine. A lot of software, a lot of things are there to track the data and present it. But what we expect in industry that there should be some predictive model in the sustainability data tracker based upon AI and data science, such that it can predict that considering the current policy of company, considering the present data of company, what will be the prediction going forward by 2040, 2030, 2060, what will be the carbon emission of this company? I think those kind will help us to make our sustainability policy robust, and predictive model will also help to take so many decisions. So I think with this hope that going forward, Forbes Marshall will work on the predictive model of sustainability data tracker based upon AI and data science. They will also work on optimizing their instrumentation system and predict that what will be the result. And the first things I requested that in wastewater treatment, today there is a demand that there should be some system which can sense the inlet quality of effluent and automatically it will adjust the chemical dosing system such that we can achieve the desired result. I think with this hope, I shall conclude my keynote remark. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Chaubey. Thank you for your insightful address. And your points on reliability. Utility reliability is key as it facilitates the process. You mentioned about monetary targeting, which is very important, attaching your actions with quantifiables. and also your points on sustainability data tracker and the importance of predictability and being able to take actions and decisions based on the data. May I now request Mukund Deshpande, Head Key Accounts, Account Management and Corporate Marketing to announce the winners.
Let me add my bit of welcome to everyone, and then all the customers, distinguished guests who will come here, Sharad, and then Vivek is on his way, and he'll have any time, and then all the customers, all the winners who are here, and then other participants and my colleagues. So this is something which we do every year since last 5 years now. This is our 5th Encon Award celebration. So before I move to the actual award present or the announcement, I will just request you to put a AV which will basically talk about how it has evolved and then what's been our journey to the Encon. Basically this, the whole competition which we have been running since last 5 years. So we have several categories of awards which we constituted this year as well. And then firstly, a category called Small Steps, Big Impact. Basically, in this category, we look at people who have done the small things and then have impacted big way either in the process or in the energy conservation itself or even in the fuel bill. We had very interesting sort of entries to this particular category. We saw last year also when we gave this award to one of the customers who had just invested about 7 to 8 lakhs on a condensate recovery system and could get something around 10-12% of the fuel saving, but just by correcting the small little things in the condensate recovery system. So this year, this award for small steps with the big impact goes to Aquarel, India. So Aquarel Private Limited is leading renewable garment processing plant. They address the steam losses from the irons by, basically the pressing irons by installing the garment traps and converting the group traps into a flow trapping, which is a classical example of the way you actually address the trapping issues on the washing machine, and then also did a bit on the condensate recovery system. With all this, they could save fuel as well as water. And then I think congratulations, Aquarel, for this. And then may I request Datta, if you can just come over and then hand over the trophy. So moving on, in the same category of small impacts, small steps with a bigger impact, we have AB InBev from Mysore. So AB InBev is one of the leading beer, as we know, Budweiser. They are the one who actually identified the optimizing the steam consumption in many of the brewhouse equipments and also in the bottling hall. So which included some of the steam trap selections on the wort as well as on the pasteurizer. And they also are worldwide use what they call it as a multi-stage brewing. And then they need to actually ready their steam system such that they can get that multi-stage brewing from the wort kettle. And then they did a lot of work around that. And then with these simple things, they could actually able to achieve, I think I'm told about 9% saving in only the brewhouse. So congratulations, Amy and Bev team. They're not here, but we'll make sure that you get an award from wherever you are. Thank you. Next in category is our energy conservation with impact on environment. This award, something which you have been giving since last 5 years, this basically talks about people or users who do not only the steam or let's say energy conservation, but also positively impact their environment. This year, the award basically goes to Hindustan Unilever, the compound plant. They are a personal care plant producing skin cleansing products. They implemented many saving initiatives. Incidentally, the same team won the Best Boiler Award during the Boiler India very recently when it was held. And then some of the optimizing thing included basically around the steam consumption, and then also they did a lot of heat recovery from the thermic fuel oil, right? I mean, then which basically increased the feed water temperature. So I think with all this, they have impacted on the CO2 as well as on the water, and then due to their Unilever sustainable plan, I think this is a plant which has been exceedingly doing well within the group. I congratulate the Hindustan Unilever team. We have both Surendra and then Mutsla here. And then may I request Vivek, you can just come over and then hand over the awards. We'll come back and then want to hear something from you, Surendra, about some of the steps which you did. And the next in category is again then the joint winner for the same category, which is basically on the energy conservation with an impact on environment. Our friends from Amul who are here. So they are the one who actually won this award. Amul, as you all know, is a household name in India, India's largest and the most renowned dairy cooperative. We keep using your name in all our corporate presentations because that was the first boiler which we sold to Amul in 1958 before. And then one of the reasons why we keep taking your name is around how we build the relationship with the customers and then also have a long standing association. And then the same Amul, I think we actually did a biomass boiler in 2014, right? Which was the span of about 50 years. We actually converted an oil-fired boiler to a newer technology. So Amul is very close to us, and then the photograph of our founder, Mr. Forbes, along with Dr. Kurian, is being widely used across the globe now. People keep asking about what this photograph all about, but Pandit Nehru was also there. And then alongside we give the same photograph of the current year or a current installation with President Pranab Mukherjee and then our team. So I think we also take Amul to a global level in our own way. Yeah. So thank you very much for coming here, and then may I request Michael, you can. Congratulations. So there's a third winner here. But this is the category I think where we very consciously went through all the details because this is very close to where we operate and then close to a way where the industries are operating, as we heard from Dr. Chaube also, is making an impact on the environment. I think Nestle India is another customer or another user who is a winner for the same category. And then Nestle is basically, they are the second time winner for the same category. They did it about 2 years ago for the same category. Well led by Navdeep and then his team. So congratulations to the Nestle team. They're not here, but we will we'll come back and hear from Navdeep about what they did in order to be so successful after 2 years again on the same category. Congratulations. So so this is basically the Oscar of our, the award, which is basically the best managed steam system. Best managed steam system, the category, something which we looked at. It doesn't say that it cannot do only same, but as Satya was mentioning in his opening remark, one thing is to save energy, and second thing is to sustain it over the period of many years. I think plants are getting better at it. Nowadays, we see many examples doing that, where the demand is basically coming from the customer sides now, the user side, saying that, okay, we'll buy things, we'll put all your recommendations, but what is the guarantee that we continue to get the same kind of benefits over the period of time? I think that's where the whole essence of the sustenance comes into a picture. Earlier, the sustenance used to be physically done, people going there and doing it and then providing the service. But now, with the advent of AI and advent of the digitalization, actually these things can be remotely monitored, and then you can reduce the number of visits which are necessary for maintaining or sustaining these benefits. And you can do it in a very hybrid way, where you monitor the data, you analyze it, and then the experts or a specialist can go to the site and then make sure that indeed the benefits are back in track. So I think this is something many users are adopting this kind of methodology. So may I request Biren Lab, so who are the best managed steam system category winners? It's a leading multi-plant pharmaceutical formulation manufacturer. As part of their automation goal, creating world-class facilities, they optimize their steam and condensate system, integrating digital solution to improve and sustain boiler efficiency, and steam to fuel ratio and feed water temperature, all the classic parameters around the steam system. And their proactive active approach has delivered sustained performance, reducing fuel, water usage and CO2 emission. Truly well managed and best managed steam system within Lab. The Lab request Satyadev to hand over the trophy.
So it's going to increase only, right? So in that context, this topic of future of energy is very much relevant to industry as well as for domestic purpose. And I think the timing of this session is just right. Like yesterday only, the COP27 is concluded in Dubai, and there are some. I was going through the outcome of that meeting as well, and there has been no commitment by any country so far, like by what they will stop fossil fuels, by what date they will deploy people the renewable energy. That kind of open commitment is no commitment is there from any country so far. So, and this is where I appreciate this initiative is taken by Home Marshal in the areas of efficiencies and sustainability. Okay. So, my maybe I will talk like this. So this small talk is about these bullet points. Okay, so we are just like, let's understand I just started with the current energy paradigm. So our global energy infrastructure is still heavily reliant on the fossil fuels, as like whether it's oil, natural gas, or coal, which is fueling the economy, of course, but it is taking a lot of toll on the natural resources, climate change, and air pollution. And this is where the transition to renewable energy is far more important for not only for industry but also for our planet. So, as we look forward, the shift towards renewable energy sources is not just a preference but a necessity. The transition to renewable energy sources is not just an environmentally imperative but a technological and economical opportunity. So advancements in technology are making renewable energy more accessible and efficient. And renewable energy technologies such as solar photovoltaic, wind turbines, and hydroelectric power, geothermal energy are becoming increasingly energy efficient and cost effective. As we know, the innovations in solar panel efficiency, wind turbine design, and energy storage solutions are driving closer to reality where clean energy is the norm, not exception. So as we move further, I tried to pick some of important technologies in renewable field just to touch upon, and to start with, I will start with solar PV. Like what are the advancements in solar energy per se? So solar energy in particular has seen remarkable advancements. The efficiency of solar PV cells has been seen a drastic improvement now. They are also committing 25% efficiency on solar PV. Technologies such as perovskite solar cells and multi-junction cells promise even higher efficiencies at lower production cost. And that renewable energy clubbed with energy storage solutions like advanced battery technologies and even in solar thermal storage are addressing the intermittency issues associated with solar panels. So the challenge which industry had 10 years back, those challenges like how to ensure the continuous supply of electricity for more than 8 hours or more than say 12 hours, 16 hours. So those are now already getting addressed to energy storage, whether it's electrical or thermal energy. I would like to also mention that in the month of October, one of my colleagues visited one site in Austria. I visited one site in North America, and that is about electrical energy storage. It is not based on lithium-ion. It is vanadium redox battery. It's an electrolyte-based system, and it has got multiple benefits. So that's one of the breakthrough technology which has come into the market, which is getting commercialized. Why I thought of mentioning that is world also may move away from lithium technology because of the lot of flip side that technology also has. So that will be one of the things to watch. Maybe another 5 years, it will be good opportunity for a company like you to just tie up with them, because they are also searching for good implementation partners in this part of the world. So then, moving on next, wind energy innovations here. Wind energy, those are more references in Europe, North America. So this is one area of rapid progress, and modern wind turbines are larger, more efficient, and capable of harnessing wind energy at lower speeds. Offshore wind farms have higher and more consistent wind speeds, are becoming more prevalent and economically viable. And you might have seen some photos of floating wind turbines which are opening up new possibilities of wind energy deployment in deeper water. So in the manner of speaking, solar energy has got wide acceptance industry-wide. Wind energy, of course, even if I want to put wind wheels in my plant, it has got its own limitations. So most of the time it will be like a PPA kind of a model where the technology or the investor will put the wind farm away from your factory, and then we can have the PPAs with those suppliers. Whereas in solar energy, we have on-site as well as off-site kind of business models in solar PV, right? And then the thing which I mentioned about the energy storage and smart grid. So one of the pivotal challenges in renewable energy landscape is energy storage and also a lack of smart grids. So breakthroughs in battery technology, particularly with lithium ion and emerging solid state batteries, are critical in stabilizing power grids and ensuring reliable energy supply. And additionally, smart grid technology is revolutionizing the way we manage and distribute energy. And by integrating real-time data, predictive analytics, and decentralized energy production, smart grids enhance efficiency, reduce losses, and improve grid resilience. Smart grids and AI-driven energy management systems are further optimizing energy usage and reducing wastage. Smart grids can also integrate renewables. It can also integrate with the storage system and consumption patterns to create balanced and resilient energy ecosystem, and are transforming how we store and utilize energy. So, in a manner of speaking, all the technologies, solar or wind, if these are coupled with proper energy storage and smart grids, that's a perfect model to have the right socio-economic balance, I would say. Coming up next, one of the thing of the town is hydrogen. Like we are seeing a lot of publicity about hydrogen, availability of hydrogen technology and all. So in the context of Unilever, I would say yes, we have taken trials of 100% hydrogen. We have taken trials of hydrogen combined with natural gas at various percentage, and we know what technology, combustion technology is required for hydrogen per se. At the same time, availability of hydrogen at affordable price, that's going to be the next thing to watch out for. And it may be possible with some special subsidies from government. Otherwise, producing renewable hydrogen, green hydrogen with the help of renewable electricity or wind energy, that is technically feasible. But again, it has got its own commercial challenges, right? Then, what's the role of government and policies? So, government policies and international agreements play definitely crucial role in steering energy transition. Incentives for renewable energy projects, carbon pricing, research grants, and subsidies for clean energy technology are some of the measures that can accelerate this transition. And investment in green infrastructure, international cooperation on energy policies can further bolster this shift. So what all we discuss is fine, but unless government policies are supportive of that, it will still remain a wish list for us, right? So what are the challenges and future directions for energy? While the future of energy is promising, it is not without challenges. The intermittency of renewable sources, the need for a substantially high initial cost in infrastructure, and technological hurdles in scaling up new technology are significant. However, with the continuous research, innovation, and collaboration between industry, academia, and policymakers can make these challenges simple, and we can overcome those challenges. And last but not least, the role of the consumer, that is us. Let's not forget the power of consumers in this transition. By adopting energy efficient practices, supporting green energy initiatives, and advocating for sustainability policies, each one of us can contribute to brighter energy future. And coming to the conclusion of that, yes, the future of energy lies in our means human beings' ability to innovate and adapt. The future of energy is not just about moving away from fossil fuels. That's a message I want to particularly drive today. It's about creating a sustainable, equitable, and resilient energy system. It is about harnessing the power of human ingenuity to solve one of the most critical issues of our time. the transition to clean energy is both formidable challenge and a remarkable opportunity for innovation, job creation, and environmental stewardship. The shift to sustainable and resilient energy system is not just a technological challenge but a societal one. It requires a holistic approach that encompasses technological innovation, economical restructuring, policy support, and public engagement. And together we can pave the way for an energy future that is sustainable, equitable, and prosperous. Yeah, these are my thoughts on the future of energy today. Thank you very much. Any specific questions? Or this topic is not actually new, but Mukunda's given me. Any questions on it?
So when it comes to Unilever globally, if you were to actually map the overall carbon footprint or energy generation, how much would you split between which comes from renewable source and how much of it comes from the conventional fossil fuel? And then what's the shift over the last 1 decade and what's the future goal for you?
Thanks, Vivek. Yeah. So, out of two energies, electrical and thermal. So, in terms of electrical energy, Unilever, I'm not talking only about the HUL, I'm talking about Unilever in total perspective. So, the movement towards actual renewable electricity purchase, either PPA or on-site, that has already started 10 years back. But by 2020, with the help of IREX, the renewable energy certificates, we have already decarbonized 92% of our electricity. At one point of time, it was even 100% that we declared, but there were some issues with the certification in some part of the world. So that figure is now adjusted to 92%. So on electricity front, we don't have that urgency to push the pedal. But the problem which we are trying to solve is our thermal energy part. And in particularly South Asia, Southeast Asia, and some part of Africa, because we have biomass supply chain available there, we are able to deploy biomass boilers or biomass gasifiers for laundry towers. The main challenge is coming from Europe, North America, where gas is very cheap, and government there doesn't believe in Paris Agreement also, so there is no subsidy there. So, and with that challenge for thermal energy, I would say we are still 30 to 40% renewable energy, thermal energy percent, and remaining 70-60% we are still trying to take initiatives through electrification now. For example, whatever work we have been doing with Forbes Marshall during the energy assessment for heat recovery. So the first step we are taking with the heat recovery, then whether it's air compressor or condensate heat recovery, and then reducing the demand by 15%, then going for heat pump. So as we speak, like I was called in, just a funny part, I was called for renewable thermal collaborative conference in October in Washington, just to talk to North American customers that heat pump is not an alien thing, it's happening. Okay, because they thought heat pump is something only for the room heating. So that's a kind of impression they have, and so the suppliers and the industry there said, okay, please come and talk to them as a customer, because we have been already using it, and when you talk to them, they will feel more authentic. Okay, so as we speak, we have a 20 installation of heat pump across the globe. So that's also one of the initiatives we have taken through electrification of course. And wherever possible, then we are also likely to go for electric boiler, but for obvious reasons, it's still on cost, 3 times on cost than the normal cost. So I think coming back to your question, so yes, electricity 92%, thermal we are 30 to 40% here. But HUL has good practice. 14 factories of HUL are totally 100% renewable. So that's a kind of a notification last week Ram also has internally circulated. So those boilers have got either biodiesel, either biomass, or this renewable energy already there. So their aim is to become 100%. Yeah. Thanks.
Your this is Sharad. With respect to the production, like specific electrical energy consumption and specific thermal energy consumption per ton of your product.
You want a specific number?
Yeah. What is that? Approximately, what is that you are making?
So I will start with the one question. Like, HUL makes everything, right? Unilever makes everything. So from lotions, creams, soap, noodles, what do you think? So right now I don't have all these numbers by heart. So how much electricity I consume per ton of shampoo or something, or per kilo of shampoo. I don't have that number right now. But our aim is like that. So we try to benchmark that. So we have got 200 odd factories, right, across the world. So we deployed metering monitoring targeting in 180 factories so far, with that intention that we'll be able to come to that factor for 1 ton of production of that particular detergent tower. How much should be the right number? So we got there. So for example, in detergent tower, the ideal number is 1.2 gigajoule per ton of that particular powder. So that kind of a benchmarks we are trying to establish here. But challenge is no two factories are same. No two factories are same because some factories sitting in Europe, it will have space heating load, and so it will have other load, whereas in India you don't have space heating load. So we will come to that point very soon, but we are still gathering that data. One of the important topic which I felt I should have added here is about utility digitalization. And last 4 years or so, from 2018 till now, we have 12 installations of HUL where boiler digitalization is implemented through Forbes. And those are the model cases for our international sites as well. But I had meeting with Yogesh yesterday, and the task given to me is what is the next thing for HUL. So I mentioned to him there was the AI part of utility digitalization. So right now what we do for boiler, because boiler is not the only utility, right? So cooling tower, chillers, then of course boiler, HVAC, within HVAC, the primary side, secondary side, within AHU as well. So what I'm looking in the market is there are different players. They target HVAC, they target AHUs, they talk about boiler, but they don't talk about all-in-one. For that, I have to go to the bigger players like Accenture. When I go to Accenture, sorry, I'm taking specific names. They are very good at digitalization, but when I talk about the SME expertise, subject matter expertise, so then that time again, you tell us what you want. So again, it comes back to us. So I'm yet to find the right balance of a supplier, technology provider who are good at subject matter expertise as well as the digitalization part of it. But that is going to be the next game changer. It's not, we are not far off from that because it's always a demand and supply. But next, our target is to have at least 5 such factories across the globe in next 5 years, where everything will be available, all utilities will be on platform, including wastewater treatment plant. Because of the ESRS requirement in Europe, we are not supposed to have that compliance issues of wastewater treatment plant. So those are the utility digitalization is integral part of future of energy as far as industry is concerned. That's my experience. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nesrikar, for your wonderful insights, for taking us through the various options available in terms of technology advancements and also economical opportunities. Encon is indeed about survivability and our connected future. Our next guest speaker today is Mr. K. Sharat Reddy. Mr. Sharat Reddy is the director of Shilpa Medicare and has over 33 years of experience in the active pharmaceutical industry, in technology transfer and scale up, planning, manufacturing, EHS concepts, and effluent treatment. His expertise also includes API manufacturing operations and execution of greenfield and brownfield projects, ZLD operations, R&D and quality control. A postgraduate in pharmacy from BITS Pilani, he has successfully led initiatives in energy conservation, ZLD plant operations, and regulatory compliance for global audits. His achievements include design and setting up of state-of-the-art API oncology and non-oncology quality control facilities, winning the first National Energy Conservation Award by the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, and registering biomass projects with the UNFCCC. He's committed to sustainable practices. He has guided teams in supply chain optimization for EcoVadis assessment and science-based target initiative. May I now welcome Mr. Reddy on stage.
First of all, I thank Forbes for encouraging the businesses by giving these, connecting these awards and encouraging them towards the energy conservation and adopt the best practices. So, I once again welcome all the allied team from various industries, and I was asked to talk about energy conservation opportunities. As all the experts are here, as you know very well, we are using various diverse equipment for our, and then where the consumption of energy is there, where the consumption of energy in excess of what is required is making impact on our bottom lines and excess spending, spending excess, and is also burden on the environment. So, in one of the report in the US, they have conducted the energy, the sustainability report. From McKinsey report, I have seen that there is a potential of about 1/3 of the existing energy consumption savings. It amounts to about $1 trillion, and the overall US economy is about $15 trillion if you assume. $1 trillion is about 10% savings is possible. And further, the BE has published one report in about, I think, 2014 or so, something like that. So they say that in the industry, there is about 23% potential for the energy conservation, energy saving measures. And the industrial sector is about, building sector is about 17% and 9% in the agriculture sector. So there is a huge potential in the area of the energy saving, and we need to encourage the people. We need to encourage namely the industries and the building sector and the consumers, especially consumers, who contribute a lot of. There is a lot of potential from the consumers, and the percentage-wise also, if you take the contribution from the consumers, will be very huge if you realize. So, about 3-4 months before, I would like to highlight here, Force Marshal team has come to our side and they said that, they sit in front of my table chair and then they said that, sir, we will give you about 14% energy fuel saving, like it is not energy consumption calculations and showing on the table and then this thing in the conference rooms, it is not like that. We will give you 14% savings on your fuel bills, right, directly. So, year on year, and we will handhold you to achieve this. And if any shortfall is there, this is okay, this commitment is okay. If any shortfall from this target and from this figure is there, from whatever we are counting, of course that figure will be based on the energy audit, they said that. So, they will be compensating that. Like in windmills, they give the minimum guarantee, minimum generation guarantee. So if that is falling below that, then they compensate that. So they came forward and committed that if there is any shortfall in the fuel bill reduction, whatever we are counting, directly fuel bill, they are not saying that steam to fuel ratio or something else, or your oxygen percentage, monitoring of the parameters and all other things. So directly they are committing the fuel bill reduction. So the commitment, that is the commitment and the confidence, I appreciate the Force Marshal management, Force Marshal team for their commitment to come forward and take this commitment, and then I'm sure that they will honor this, and we are going forward with this proposal, and we are at the very advanced stage. So this is the, I thank Force Marshal really for contributing, for helping the industry to digitalize the energy management systems and achieve these savings. So further, as you all know, that the major energy consumption, about 65% of our energy consumption in the industry is from the utilities, HVAC, and then the about 35% will be used for the processes. So as you all know, the one opportunity is that cooling, heating, and then power. So normally we call this cogeneration, and the condensate can be used in the process for the process industries like API industries. So this needs to be adopted very aggressively to attain the sustainable, to achieve the sustainable goals. We commit to the various international monitoring agencies like ECOWAS and SBTA targets we are all committing. So these can be achieved, the energy conservation can be achieved, also the fuel bills can be reduced by adopting, by going through this. So wherever we require, initially, of course, it may not be possible for the existing listing for greenfield project for further coming, which are further coming forward. So we can think of going for a boilers where a high pressure and generate the power to them, and that can be utilized on the further the condensate. This thing can be utilized, the condensing can be utilized for the processes, and we can generate the power, and then thereby we can achieve the energy conservation in that. And the main thing, as our keynote speaker and Sachijay was speaking, the monitoring of all our utilities and our processes is very, very important in this. So the moment you monitor, the moment you start monitoring, we know what is happening in the system. We know where we lag, we know where the stress is. So then we can act upon that, and then we can target that to overcome all these parameters wherever we are going in deviation of the OEM prescribed parameters. And the other this thing is HVAC. In the HVAC, about recently the EC fans have come into picture where they use the direct current in the HVAC. And in our factory, about about 65% of the AHUs, conventional belt-driven, indirect-driven motors have been replaced with the DC-driven, electronically controlled fans. Thereby, we have achieved a huge energy conservation, energy savings in that. So, and apart from that, see, we are monitoring, our teams are monitoring, and we will not be, there are experts in our listing in our teams, and we will not be aware of, we may miss something. So that is why the energy audits plays a very crucial role to realize where we are going wrong, where the scope for the improvements are there. So last year when we conducted the energy audit, actually I would like to highlight one more point here also. Since 2009 we are working with the Force Marshal about all the steam distribution and condensate recovery is given by them, and they are working well. We have about 250 steam traps or line traps, and then in our plant. So last year, when QV has audited that, out of 250, about 35 are not working on the line traps, because there the accessibility is very limited on the pipe tracks. So there the traps got stuck, and it is only there is no investment is required. It is servicing of the traps is required. So such things we have to correct immediately. There is a scope for this lot of scope for the systems we install, and where if they are not functioning, so if they are not functioning, we need to attend them immediately. That is why the monitoring of the systems installed is very, very important. That is where the digitalization of the utilities is going to play a very important role. We do understand from them where we are going wrong and which is working and which is not working, and to sustain those investments, investments are giving the results. So that is very, very important. So every year energy audits, as all of us know, is very, very important. And as regards to the boiler, combustion control is going to give us a lot of energy savings, where especially in the solid fuel boilers, where it is a very complex parameters are involved in the solid fuel fire boilers. So there you need to monitor, to make the combustion control, you need to monitor the steam pressures, and then drag, and then the stack temperature, and then the oxygen levels in the flue gases. So thereby you control your combustion efficiency. And the recent last year, for example, I'll tell you in our case, we were using a combi pack boiler, a smoke-fired combi pack boiler, where we were using the fuel is risers. We were using the overhead firing. So there we had a lot of problems. Bed is not maintaining well, and combustion unburns are very high to the tune of about 10%. And then the consistency to the plant, availability of the steam is not there. There we have converted that to from the overhead firing to the underhead firing, and thereafter and we have installed the combustion control by taking the steam pressure into the consideration, and then thereby the fuel feeding also is controlled. And now the availability of from the last 2 years, the consistency of the availability of the steam to the plant is very good, and the unburns are reduced to about 6%. So there is such small things, so we can make a good impact. And one thing, as suggested by Satyadev and the keynote speaker, the monitoring is very, very important. Monitoring, evaluation, and taking action to rectify the issues is very, very important. And apart from this, we also our R&D is working continuously for improvement of the processes, for the quality of the product, and for improvement of the reducing the time cycle of the process, and reduction of the resources, and reduction of the waste generation. So these are all this is going to make very big impact. The utilities consumption, the energy conservation in the utilities will be a very limited, maybe to an extent of about, as Postmaster commented after seeing our factory, about 14%. Whereas the process, in our process, the improvements are done. Actually, there are real R&D, our R&D was there to improve the processes, to reduce the resource consumption, like raw materials, and then improving upon the yields, and then the consumption of the water. You understand that in the API industry, we use a lot of purified water. The purified water generation is about 30% of your raw water. Rest all will go in rejection. Of course, we recycle all that water. So otherwise, if you don't recycle that water, otherwise the water consumption will be double. So the major thrust to be given is the process development. Continuous process developments are very, very important to maintain our bottom lines and as well as the savings on the energy. So apart from this, in the HVAC, as I said that the electronically communicated fans, wherever the loads are varying, wherever the loads are fluctuating, if the electronically communicated fans are installed, we have been using them. There is a commendable energy saving in that. Apart from that, as we all know, and people are implementing the building management systems in HVAC also. So that also contributes a lot to the energy saving. And regarding the chillers, suppose if the load variations are there, so we can go for the VFD driven chillers, and then when it comes to the monitoring of the parameters, the discharge pressures and suction pressures. The discharge pressure, as we all know, the discharge pressures wherever we are maintaining as low as possible, then the per TR consumption, kilowatt consumption will be very less. You can achieve a good results in that. And these are all the things, as Vivek said, that these are all the things not new, and day to day we are coming across, and the only thing is we need to pay the attention to them, and we need to have the passion to drive this energy conservation, and we should not leave any opportunity left for the case of the energy conservation. And the main challenges in implementing this, I would like to talk about them. So is awareness and lack of knowledge in the ground level team. So we need to improve the skills, and we need to train the people who really work at the ground level. So we all talk about the energy conservation and at the management level, and if that is not perpetuated to the ground team, so we are going to miss that. Like where the monitoring may not be effective, and the things may not give the effective results. And the investments, as it comes to the investments, we all think that suppose in the existing plants, in the brownfield projects, if we have to do the conservation, the management approach is that we always think about the return on investment. So as Mukund said, we should not think about the ROI only, and we should think about our system, our consistency of operations. And once, even though the ROI is little high, and without any holiday, this savings, this energy conservation savings pays us back. So there is no holiday for the savings. Once you install it and you monitor it, and without any holidays like interest, so it doesn't have any holiday. So the savings also will come to us without any holidays. And majorly, suppose if we have to invest a big amount for the small players, like for many energy conservation projects. There should be a government special funding, some innovative funding, like ESCOs, like energy service companies. They should be subsidized or they should be incentivized to provide the energy saving equipment. So in a better way, there should be some innovative way, and so that the mutual benefit should be there. The user should also get the benefit, and the ESCOs also should get the benefit. So there should be some innovative way to finance them. And apart from that, there should be incentives for the energy conservation for the end users also. Whatever we are like, now we wanted to change, now we are using about 15 years before we have IE2, IE3 models. Now we have to change them entirely. So now IE4 is coming. IE4 constraint is that the deliveries are very late. So to change all this, so the government gives some incentives about this, and so that the motor manufacturing companies also will have there will be good demand for these IE4 better efficiency motors, and then they will make the deliveries better, so that the consumption will be more, the demand will be more. So that is how the government has to take some initiatives to incentivize those things. And especially apart from this, though there are some legislative requirements for very big industries, like you have to do so much of energy conservation, and even for the players like medium scale and large scale also, there is no legislation and there is no mandatory requirements for the energy savings, energy conservation. So guys, you have to do this much of your consumption, power bill is this much, you are consuming 3000 kVA of the electricity. So you need to do some 10% of this energy conservation effectively and comply with the legislation. So such legislation is not there. In the absence of the enforcement, it is our wish. It is our wish whether to go for this or not. If this legislation is made as a mandatory this thing, so that one also will work well to conserve the energy and to make the sustainable, to achieve the sustainable practices. And apart from this, then especially now, when you go for the electricity, as Blake was telling, like PPE mode of this thing, electricity purchase. So we can participate in the captive participation mode also, and then we can have the electricity bills reduced by about 2 rupees difference is there. What we are getting is about 4 rupees 50 paisa, and there is no some charges will be there. I don't remember that. If you open access market, if you purchase, you need to pay some 1 rupee 73 paisa, something like that. I don't know. I don't remember it what it is. So, not milling charges is our own this thing. One more this thing is there. 1 rupee 70 paisa, something like that. And milling charges are very less, about 25 paisa, something is there. So, we at Shilpa, we have a captive participation with the wind generation, and we have our own wind generation mills also. We use about 80 to 90% of our electrical scope electricity from the renewable sources. And then the thermal, we use about 85% of the thermal energy we use from the renewable sources. So, as proposed by the Force Marshal, and it is promoting very well, like digitalization of the utilities, digitalization of the utilities and thermal energy systems is very, very important, as stressed by all the speakers here. It is very, very important to achieve the consistency in the energy conservation. also, we can day-to-day for day-to-day activities, so everyone is aware. So if you refer the BE side, each and every utilities, what is the checklist and what is the tips for the energy efficiency measures, what in our day-to-day operations, what we can do, and then with the small things we can achieve the energy conservation without really much investment. So these are all described in the BE site. So we can go through them, and then we can we can achieve the energy savings in this. So with this, I thank you for the opportunity given to us, given to me, for having made me to speak about the opportunities in energy conservation. Thank you so much. At Shilpa, we are committed to the sustainable practices. We are assessed by EcoVadis. We are assessed on the EcoVadis platform. Also, we are committed to the, we have submitted our targets to the science-based target initiatives, and we are also a participant to the ENGC. We submit our ESG performances to the UNGC every year, and this is about what Shilpa is doing about in the ESG area. And once again, I congratulate Forbes Marshall to having conducted this program. To encourage, this is very encouraging, sir, to adopt the energy conservation and contribute to the planet. Thank you so much.
Are there any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Sharon, for sharing your experience. So one question you mentioned about the example of windmill, like if the performance is not at par, then they will compensate for the shortfall, right? So your contract or your project with Forbes Marshall has got that shortfall commitment as well, or it is just a performance?
They have committed. We will put that clause.
Okay.
Yes.
Because we never put that clause, so that's the biggest achievement of this session. Like, okay.
They are committed. It should be documented.
They are committed one, but they will compensate for the shortfall.
Yes. They are sending it. I have name.
Great, thank you so much. So, that was number one. Number two, about the digitalization, because it's happening, but our experience with so many factories is, I'm just sharing my experience, it all depends on the health and uptime of the sensors and the sensor equipment, right? The meters and sensors. If those are not maintained properly, it becomes garbage in, garbage out. So in our contract now, we are putting that uptime maintenance everything also as a part of our clause, so that it will be clean. Maybe it will be down for one day, but not more than certain hours. So that kind of a clause also very important. That's what we have worked on. Thank you.
The BE side that you have mentioned, that is Bureau of Energy Efficiency. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Sharad, for such an enlightening presentation. My question to you and also to some of the other industry customers who have joined us is, will you undertake any energy efficiency reduction targets?
Yes.
Year on year, and how do you baseline that, given your industry where the process changes and on a day-to-day basis, how do you baseline that?
Baseline is like, there are two things in this. The baseline is that as regards to this thing, initially when we started 2000, when we commissioned our plant in 2009, in 2009 we have taken the industry standard as the baseline. So therefrom we have we have defined our goals. And of late, what we have done is like in 2020-21, we have taken as the baseline, and we have taken our entire production from the unit. So this is the specific energy consumption, electrical energy consumption, and this is the thermal energy consumption. So as far as the thermal energy is concerned, I think if I remember it correctly, in 2021-22, we had about 16,000 tons of rices consumption. Now this is about 23-24, we could reduce it to about 15,000 tons, something like that. There is a 1,000 tons reduction is there. And the specific thermal energy is about 765 million kilocalories, something like that, per ton of the production.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reddy. I think you spoke about some very important points. The first one pertaining to benchmarking, which is knowing where you are versus where you can go. And that's the first step in any improvement plan. You spoke about recovery, and many of our participants and awardees today have done simple things like condensate and flash fill recovery. You spoke about how do we drive energy conservation as a plant-wide initiative. And you also spoke about not just looking at ROI, but also looking at consistency in processes. Thank you so much. I will now take time to request our awardees to come up to the podium and share a few words about their experience. May I call Mr. H.B. Pandit from Amul on stage.
Good morning to all of you. I am H.B. Pandit. I am representing Amul Dairy Anand. Actually, we have different process initiatives like condensate recovery, then first and second condensate. Then we have different powder plants. One is F60 powder plant, another is LNT powder plant. And we are using first and second condensate as a condensate recovery in the boiler and essence of water. And we have different utilization of condensate and flash steam recovery in the boiler. And steam traps are also working well in different units. And we are using condensate at a temperature of 55 to 70 degrees centigrade. And in terms of fuel consumption, we are utilizing fuel saving. And at the same time, we are using different electrical equipment like IE3 motors, we have these various drives as the energy conservation electrical methods. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Our next awardee is Fashion Foods, and they're online. May I request Mr. Somchai to say a few words? So I think they're not online. Yeah. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. First of all, my name is Lipo from Thailand. I'm not very confident or very job. So I'm here with Kun Somchai. So he will speak in Thai and I will translate English. ผมรู้จักเป็นบริษัทมาเจอประมาณปี65พอดีเจ็ดปีคนเข้ามาเสนอประมาณช่วยการประหยัดพลังงานในตัวไปเลยประหยัดตัวเรื่องการประหยัดการใช้น้ำอะไรพวกนี้แล้วก็พอนั้นผมมาเสนอเจ้านายผมว่าที่ทุกคนมีโครงการอยู่แล้วในการจะทำการประหยัดพลังงานและระบบไฟของเรามันก็ไม่สมบูรณ์ในการทำความร้อนในการใช้งานพอดีก็เลยคนเข้ามาปีก็เลยช่วยแก้ปัญหานี้ทางบริษัทก็เดียวเลยเข้ามาช่วยแก้ปัญหาให้เข้ามาด้วยว่าเราจะทำให้มันถูกต้อง
So for agile photoshop we build customer confidence. So at that time actually customer already have battery with the system and they also has a lot of issues with the system that not the same. So we come and help them to solve that all issue and because of after we got there after we do research so we can achieve saving and stop that from the issue of issue that we face.
แล้วหลังจากนั้นที่เข้ามาสำรวจโครงการเสร็จเราก็ได้เจ้านายก็ได้เห็นชอบแล้วก็อนุมัติแล้วก็ดำเนินปฏิบัติจะใช้เวลาในการทางโปรเจกต์แรกประมาณ1 ปีเสร็จแล้วก็การเป็นโดยตรงนี้เราได้เจอว่าได้ทำความจริงในก็จะรวมมาก็ได้20%ครับของเรื่องน้ำก็เสียได้
Congratulations, sir, and thank you so very much for joining us online. May I now request Mr. Surendra Thakur from HUL Kanga to say a few words.
Good morning. From Khanga Industrial River. Previously, Khanga there is a laundry soap production and a DFA plant is there. In 2019, the company has stopped DFA plant. So we are having 8-inch pipeline, more than 300 meters. So we have rerouted that pipeline, redesigned, and we have replaced that pipeline to from 8-inch to 3-inch pipeline after getting IBR approvals. Then we have steam jacketed pipeline for steam line for beers manufacturing. Beers required jacketed steam line. So we have replaced EHT by steam jackets. Then we have for same we have shifted all our customers on different location for new pipeline. We have done SOPT installation by replacing float pipe steam tracks for and we have get better redundancy. And in this year we have 4 boiler operators retirement in Khanga. So we have trained our own employees and our 5 boiler operators have cleared second class boiler examination in Nagpur. Not our better boiler operators for our better future and the sustainability. And after reading this, we have reduced 40% of our CO2, 25% of water consumption in boiler. Thank you.
Thank you. You can add, you are going to have the 2-ton boiler in your premise.
Yes.
Latest technology.
I mean that. And after doing all these trials, small things, our steam demand is reduced from 3.5 ton to 1.8 ton, and we are installing 1.8 ton foam in the boiler, and it is in the installation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bora. May I now request Mr. Sanjay Poddar from Milan Labs to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sanjay Poddar from Milan Labs. We have around 3 plants in Maharashtra and Gujarat. We are there in the industry for about more than 50 years. And recently, in say 2014, we installed we built a new plant at Dahej, Gujarat, which is in AC zone. With the help of AC zone, with the help of foam marshal, previously we have only two-tier boiler. Now we installed 3.5 tier boiler also. And with their energy saving technology and software, we can use only 3.5 tons of boiler, and that 2 tons of boiler is ideal now. Previously we were using both the boilers, but with the technology of foam marshal and this we are for the HVAC systems, so that it reduce this electricity this. So, and we are also at our Bombay plant, we have a solar system. Yes. So we are also in fact. So thank you for Marshall for initiating this software and initiation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request our winner from Siam Quality Starch, who's online, to say a few words. Please go ahead.
I'm Subhamit from Thailand and Christian. Yeah, one thing so much. Dung ครับ
ครับ
ได้ยินเสียงไหมครับ
ได้ยินครับได้
นี่พี่พูดภาษาอังกฤษได้
ไม่ค่อยเท่าไหร่ครับ
โอเคครับโอเค sir.
So I think we can't hear you very clearly.
Come back.
Sir, what we should start from? Talk about before and after improvement. Right.
ต้องพูดอะไรไง
Okay, sir. Actually, this project for SUS just for the routine system improvement at the rider. In the past, the customer used the pressurized tank for collecting the condensate. They use the condensate at the preheating, and the customer create the condensate from the steam trap and utilize the fast steam and heat at the preheating coil only without the memory or leakage issue. Including they can save some steam, approximately 10%.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to you. Can I now request Mr. Aditya Jalan from Surya Fashions to say a few words?
Thanks, please.
Good afternoon, and congratulations to all the winners. And I thank Forbes team to organize this Energy Conservation Day. I would say that Suryodaya has won this Best Managed Systems Award, but Forbes is equal participant in this award. Right, because if I quantify this, back in 2018-2019, we were roughly using 2.8 MLD of water every day to our production. From then to now, our production has increased at least 20% and 25% in peak seasons. And our water intake has been reduced from 2.8 MLD per day to less than 2 MLD per day. If I give you a clear picture that in December 2022, it was a situation that my boiler was 8 TPH boiler was giving me roughly 1.75 lakh kgs of steam for the full plant. I had an opportunity to expand, but I could not due to the boiler constraints. And it was like I had to change the boiler, but I had to do something with that. But the whole scenario is that changing a boiler is a cost-effective thing, and moreover, it will take at least 20 days. And I didn't want to shut down my plant in the good seasons. So there we just came in this sustenance thing, and the complete for whole year contract with Forbes said, please do something so that we don't need to replace our boiler. After 1 year of the sustenance thing, my boiler like currently it's giving me 1.4 to 1.5 lakh kgs of steam per day. However, I have increased my output by 10%. I have increased machinery of 10% capacity. So that way, if not more, at least 20% savings I have got. 15% is what they had committed me, but 20% is what I got. For 7 to 8 months, initially when we were in this contract period, I was very much doubtful and skeptical that are things really going as per plan, because I'm not seeing very much improvement. They used to give me data every 2 months or 3 months, that 3 months back it was this and now it was this, but I was not very much convinced. But when I could really introduce new jet line machines, I could introduce 400 kgs long jet machines, I could get output, and also my water intake on boiler was reduced, steam uses were reduced, I was fully satisfied that no, it's going on. So thank you team for that. Again, they are just moving. They also promised us that since you have got this much gain on boilers, you will get a thermobag also. So we have also switched the thermobag from manual to auto mode. We expect better result in that also. Moreover, one thing I would like to add, Suryodaya has been a premium mill in Surat, and not just now, but for over the years, we have been relatively better from our competitors. So as Mr. Satyadev initially said that they are best and they are as average and worse. So they were always better than average. So I was not in a, I never thought that we would improve this much. But if we can, so I see there is a huge opportunity of expansion in Surat, because most of the mills are in much poor condition. So it's up to you how do you chase them, how proactive you are. Or see, Surat is trying to an MSME culture. Most of the owners, you will feel they are more like a state, not like a completely corporate culture. To be frank, it is like that. But the need of the hour is this, because coming 2 years down the line or 3 years down the line, government will be more proactive on this. Government will tighten their rules that you cannot use more than this much water, you cannot release more than this much of steam or effluent gases or whatever it is. So it's better if we just step in fast, and if we take fast actions, then it will always be helpful on the industry as a whole. So I just request you to be more proactive and then chase customers on the way. If you need Suryodaya for any recommendations or for any sort of presentations or sending a feedback, we and my team is always there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your remarkable insights. I would also like to congratulate all the winners once again and thank everyone here for sharing their experiences. May I now request Mr. Mehul Vaidya, Director Forbes Marshall, to deliver the vote of thanks.
thank you all for your amazing participation, very insightful sharing of your best practices, and also sharing with us what the future should look like. So recapping what we've done through the day, as Mr. Satyadev took us through what was the energy mix 20 years back and what is the energy mix today. As we saw, there's a huge change from oil and gas to biomass, but the coal remains the same. That's the sticky one. Now that's again exactly where the invitation is. Don't wait really for everything to fall under the basket of ROI. As you spoke about the regulations, about the need to get into sustainability, I think there has to be an overarching view which then financially eventually add value to you as an industry. So again, that's very important. What he also emphasized upon, that in the last 20 years, though we made significant progress, in most areas the energy intensity is reduced by half. But still, there's a huge gap between the average plant and the best plant, which you also emphasized about. So again, that's again a huge opportunity which we all can get together and change. Basics do not change, so whether it be stock wastage or low-hanging fruits, I think that's something which we all should benefit and change immediately. But again, we should also look at future and invest in the future. So I take this opportunity to really, invite you all to start looking at future and start charting the future opportunities together. We had Dr. Chaube stress on the whole aspect of targeting, monitoring and achieving, and he kind of repeated this multiple times, that you start with a target, you monitor where you are, and then that's how you end up achieving. And that's what Mr. Nesrikar also covered in terms of need for measurement. The savings that many of you have shared is phenomenal. So even UPL, you talk about 52% wastage reduction, 42% reduction in water. These are tremendous figures to achieve in 4 years' time. And I think there are a lot of benchmarks which within this forum, within this room, we have and we can share and benefit from each other. I think also the ask that what Dr. Chaube shared, and I think that's again a very, very great input for us, which is in the area of wastewater quality monitoring as well as again control. We have very exciting offering, and we'll soon approach you all where there is transformative offering in the wastewater area, where we not only monitor but also treat the wastewater without using chemical. And we'll come to you and talk more about it. And again, the whole area of sustainability, data analytics, and also the whole area of generative AI, which we are now opening our eyes onto, something which you started with Suryodaya, with many industries a couple of years back. And I think we've made significant strides in actually delivering the benefits. So again, we never talked about technology to you all. That's again the background and doing the hard work. But happy now in the last 2 years, what stride technology has made and how we've leveraged to deliver the real benefits. Because we want truly to stick to making a difference, and then rather than glamorizing the technology for technology. So really, we want to stay true to delivering benefits. Thank you, Mr. Nesrikar, for sharing future of energy. Very exciting presentation in terms of what we could do on the energy sources itself. And again, that's invitation to invest in the future technology. Sharat Reddy, thank you for sharing what we can do here and now, and that's very essential, that while we chart the future, we can make phenomenal changes in our plants here and now. You talked also about stressing on utility and partnership. So huge gains can be really derived from utility itself. And you stressed on awareness at the ground level, which is again key, that all our teams at the management level have good vision, good future outlook, but again the operative team needs to be on board and they need to really deliver the benefit. Also the whole stress on the ESG. So I think all in all, excellent meet. More our customers gain from it, more and more we gain as an organization, and we want to be very thankful for that. So I want to end by thanking all the participants, all our customers, esteemed awardees which got really mutually benefited, I would say. Our strong field sales, which again are day-to-day engaging with you and working with you as a partner on a consultative mode to add value. We are very proud of them. The divisions who anchored the whole show today. And last but not least, Mukund, the corporate marketing team, Belinda, Gurus and Sapna, who've done a wonderful job to put this all together. So thank you very much, and we hope to see this participation more and more in coming years as we go along. Thank you very much.
So before we break for lunch, can we have everyone against the backdrop for a photograph, please? Thank you.